Welcome back. We've got another Talking Technical ahead of us, and once again, thank you for all the emails. And I see some guys are using some of the social platforms. That's also okay. Let's kick off. We've got quite a few. First of all, Anthony asked about Anglo Gold. Now let's have a look at Anglo Gold. Remember, the gold stocks had some wonderful rallies over the last couple of months. In actual fact, I think this must be the best performing sector in the market for since about January. But look at Anglo Gold here, Anthony, and he was looking for a selling level. He says to me, Frans, I had a nice rally, I bought it at a nice spot, and I would like to know where can I sell it. Now, Anthony, if you look at the stock here, it was about 170 Rand in May, can you believe that? And in August now it's 310 Rand, it's almost double, but it doesn't matter. But I think what worries me is this little, you can almost say a shooting star, but I will call that an inverse hammer right at the top. But can you see there's another one just following up on that? And look at the two shadows there. The two shadows are telling us that momentum is almost losing some steam. And look at all these gaps. The first gap closed, and there that gap was closing at 294.99. This gap closed just the other day. That was closed at 285.77. And the big thing, there's still another little gap here. But if I must say, if I look at those two candles, those two inverse hammers, and this almost like I will call that a teardrop candle, and that just tells you that people want to lock in some profits. I think the easy money for the moment has been made. Of course, if the rand starts to weaken again, you can see a different picture. But for me personally, I think the easy money has been made, and I will probably say that you can maybe think of locking in some profits. But let's see, where is the place we can lock in some profits. Well, first of all, if you did keep the stock, that support there of that candle, this bearish engulfing candle that we've seen the day before yesterday, that is the signal that there is still some sellers around. Yesterday we saw a beautiful bullish candle. Let's get this level. That level is at 285.19. If the stock is below 285.19, I think maybe if you had this rally from, I don't know where you bought it, but let's say if you had a beautiful rally, I think below that 285.19, it will show me some proper weakness. Of course, if it can get above this candle, and the high of that candle is 330.63, we can maybe see another move to the upside. But for the moment, I think the stock had a massive rally, and it can easily pull back from here. Well, let's have a look at Edward. He says that he's a guy that loves to buy some property stocks, and he's keen on buying some property stocks again. Let's just find Growth Point for him. Growth Point. There you are. Edward, I mean, these stocks being hammered. I know that you love the stocks, but look at this chart. This is a daily chart. Let's make it a weekly chart, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Then you will see the stock has been hammered, like all of them. I mean, all of them. There's the weekly chart, and for me, even if I use the candlestick chart, let's just have a look here. There is not really a turnaround candle here. Now, if you look at the chart like this, and you see there's a high, and it falls always all through to the bottom, and then it starts to consolidate, and it is flirting with some lows, then I think maybe need to sit on your hands. I mean, these stocks time will come again, but the big thing is, I watch this level for you. There's the level, and you will immediately see what I'm showing you. If you look at the support line, look at that support line. That support line is being tested at the moment, and if you look at that support line, if it consolidates below this 23 Rand 10 cents level, we can actually go a little bit lower. And look what we see here. There's a symmetrical triangle that's been formed over a period of time, and if this 23 Rand breaks down to the bottom, you can easily see the stock. Let's see, there's from the top to the bottom. We can just do the extension there. It can even take the stock as low as 20 Rand 36. Of course, if you are a long-term investor and you love property stocks and you want to start to nibble, there's nothing wrong in nibble at the bottom of a stock. Then remember, it's exactly the same if you build a short. If you build a short, start off slow, build a position over a period of time, because sometimes you can be wrong. The same with buying a stock. over the long term. If you like a stock, then you can buy it and just buy bits and pieces. And that brings me to another one, is into properties. Into properties, I'm also an holder of the stock because I wanted to buy it for a property exposure in abroad. And what happened? I mean, the stock just started falling, and after I bought the stock and I looked at the fundamentals and I looked at the technicals, and the technicals almost showed me around this 18 Rand level that we started to see a little bit of consolidation, and it didn't break below that line of support. And I said, okay, I must start to nibble because the fundamentals look good, the technicals look really not too bad, because look at the stock. I mean, it's been falling all the way from well above 80 Rand. But then the news came out, and suddenly we read that the stock has got, or the company has got a lot of debt. And what I'm doing now, I'm just sitting on my hands. I bought some of the stock. I'm waiting for either a rights issue. I mean, at 7 Rand, the stock has been hammered to pieces. Maybe it can turn around, but luckily it is property. So property usually finds its value over time. But if I look at this weekly chart, once again, there is maybe the first sign, but remember, this is a weekly chart, so we'll only have a look at this chart probably tomorrow afternoon, because then we'll know. But this is a small dragonfly, almost you can say dragonfly doji in the making, or maybe a first dragonfly candle, maybe if we're lucky, a dragonfly candle by tomorrow afternoon. And for me personally, I'm not buying. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for either a rights issue so that I can allocate some money and participate in that, so that they can turn the company around, because remember, my viewpoint is for quite a few years from here. But at the moment, I cannot see that we must just buy it. Of course, out of a trader's perspective, let's look at the daily chart. That's a different story. If you look at the daily chart, this is this ugly sell-off that we've seen. There's the Harami candle. Then we've seen this bullish candle, but where's the big thing? That little resistance, there's the resistance. I just want to draw it in there. Resistance is if the stock can get above 7 Rand 17, I think we can maybe see a little bit of a relief rally. Maybe there's this gap to be closed at 11 Rand 80, and this gap will close at 12 Rand 1 cent. It opened at 11.80, close at 12.01. I think it is still early days. Let's maybe just see if there is a little bit of volume creeping in, because then at least we can say that there's maybe some other buyers starting to nibble on the stock. Let's have a look. No, not really. There was the big selling volume that we've seen. There is a little bit of volume creeping in here, but I would like to have to see a spike. If I can see a spike in volume, I know something is on the boil, but at the moment, I'm not excited about the stock. I think it's maybe just time to sit on your hands. And you know what? Sometimes you can almost find that a company can actually go to zero. And this just tells you that if you look at the company, any company, and you see that the stock is starting to fall, it can really turn ugly. Because remember, buying shares is a risky business. It's not always an easy way to make money. Well, let's have a look at Alan. Alan said, listen, Frans, I want to look at new gold. Now, let's first of all start off with the gold price. I can remember many years ago, it rallied all the way, but this is not the gold price. I just want to get the gold price for us. Then you guys can see what I'm talking about here. The gold price had one massive rally. I mean, I can remember me and Julieta many years ago chatted about this chart, and we thought that maybe this consolidation, we don't know when it's going to break. Now, what happened then eventually? The stock broke after the gold price broke above this massive resistance line. This was this overhang resistance that we chatted many a time, and we said, listen, can it eventually break above that? And I know some other technical analysts also said, but can it break? Now, what happened when it broke above 1,350? The gold price just rocketed. Now, this is exactly what we see here. Unfortunately, this is a lamp pull formation. I'm always scared about the lamp pull formation because it usually triggers selling at time to come. And if you look at the stock in the past, you will, the gold price, look what happens here. If it gives you this massive spike, it always goes a little bit. But at the moment, momentum to the top, nothing can hold the gold price back. Look at the 40-week moving average. 40-week moving average is a beautiful support. Nothing wrong with the stock. So, with the price, it is beautiful. Now let's have a look at New Gold, of course, because he bought it, and he maybe looks for another entry point. But look at this price. It is at 219.77. I can remember a few weeks ago, a few months ago, we almost analyzed the chart, and we said to our subscribers, maybe it's time to buy a little bit of New Gold. But I mean, look at this rally from 2018, from 144 Rand to 219.77. Now, Alan needs the same story. Look at this. It's almost a lamp pull formation straight away to the top. In actual fact, I think you are too late to buy. If you now want to get in, I think you're too late. If you want to lock in some profits, just to hold on at the moment, because it's a straight line to the top. I just want to see if we can maybe get a target where this can go to, because that will be maybe his question. So let's just go in that resistance line there. Well, if it heads to find this resistance, you can go to 235.65. For me, I will only get nervous when New Gold gets below, and where's that level? There you are. If New Gold gets below, I just want to draw in that line there. Yeah. If it gets below, there's the high of it. If it gets below 194.66, I will get nervous. But while it is going like it's going now, I think just hold on. The only other thing that is a little bit of a warning to me is, look what it happened. There's the 40-week moving average, and it rallied all the way past the 40-week moving average. It's way above that. And usually what happens, if it goes do that, it will probably come back sometime. Just be a little bit nervous to say that New Gold or a gold stock can just rally on. It can sometimes pull back a little bit. And we'll see you just after the break.